So Bayern get the victory. Let's get some reaction now. Gosens spoke to Archie Rhind-Tutt after the game, as did the Union Berlin coach, Nenad Bjelica.
There are two key moments I have to discuss. Firstly, the moment where it looked like your team could have been given a penalty. How did you see that?
Yeah, so the situation, I saw many penalties given like this one, but it's okay. That's the decision of referee. I must to accept it. And we thought it's penalty situation for us. Referee thinks is not. We must respect it.
What happened from your perspective with Leroy Sane? Because we saw you push him in the face.
Yeah, I tried to, in my zone, in my coaching zone, I tried to take the ball and to give him the ball, and he pushed me. He was provoking me, and then I react like I don't have to react. I wanted to push him from me, and then came the fourth referee, and the main referee showed me the red card.
Have you spoken to Leroy Sane after this, or do you feel that you don't need to?
No, why I don't? That's emotions in football. You see many emotions on the pitch, out of the pitch. That was a wrong emotion in this case. I made mistake. I'm sorry for this mistake. But as I said, if I can change it now, I would not do it. But that's football. I must accept it and to try to not repeat this type of mistakes.
We saw a very angry and animated reaction from the bench, and that included the coach, Nenad Bjelica, pushing Leroy Sane in the face. Is that how you saw it? Because I believe that he thinks that he was pushed first.
Honestly, I was on the bench, but I was discussing with my teammates about the penalty. So I didn't saw how it started. I only saw after that they had a big discussion. So I went there to because I also know Leroy and I also know my coach. So I wanted to defend both of them. So I don't know what happened before. If he touched him in the face, he know for sure that is not correct. I don't know what happened before, so I don't want to say nothing because I don't know the whole situation.
Was that the first time you've ever had to calm down a coach in your career? Usually it's the other way around. I saw you going.
Yeah, that's true. I also in Italy had some coaches that were living the game, and these are the emotions, and this is part of the game. Of course, a trainer, but also we players have to control our emotions because we are playing, and we are also role models for other people. Everybody is watching us, so we have to control the emotions. But sometimes, it's also part of the game that you cannot do it. But it's part of the game.
So what that means is that Bayern Munich have closed the gap on Bayer Leverkusen to 4 points. For more on this, here's Kay and Ali.
So there you have it. Bayern Munich got what they needed, a 1-0 win. And 3 points is what they needed. I'm not too sure a 1-0 win is what they would have wanted it to be, given that a response was expected from them today, Ali. So what's your assessment of what we did see?
Bayern Munich are terrible. Honestly, look, you're looking at this group and thinking there's going to be certainly a reaction and a rebound performance given what happened on the weekend against Werder Bremen and in the context of what Bayer Leverkusen have been doing. And you're at home and you're thinking, all right, here we go, a lot of energy. It's going to be a dominant performance. You're going to see the very best of Bayern Munich because the game demands it and because the situation that they're in demands it. And the first 45 minutes, you just kind of go, oh, there's just no life here. There's nothing exciting about this team. Certainly it wasn't in the first 45 minutes. Then you have to imagine that Thomas Tuchel would have gone into the locker room and at the very least get the attention of the players. First few minutes of the second half, they're alive all of a sudden. And you start seeing players around the ball and pressing higher of the field and runs of Harry Kane. And you see balls being played directly into Harry Kane, bypassing lines of pressure and actually turning Union Berlin around. They get a goal out of it from Rafael Guerreiro, who I think was a highlight today from the perspective of Bayern Munich. And then that's it. The first 10 minutes of the second half, and that's it. Game, set, match, they went back to what they were in the first half. Bayern Munich right now cannot sustain a level of play for a period of time that is actually worth talking about. Bayern Munich just are not the team that we think they should be, whether it's the player whether it's Thomas Tuchel, whether it's a combination of both. Right now, this is a team that is underwhelming and disappointing.
And they've got to get it together because obviously they face Leverkusen on February 10th. There were big moments in this game, one of them being Nenad Bjelica getting sent off for pushing Leroy Sane in the face. It does look as though there could be a lengthy ban ahead, Alex.
And there should be. In my opinion, managers should be held to an even higher standard than players on the field. And certainly what cannot happen, and it's a no-no, it's unacceptable. If you're a manager, you cannot touch a player. And you certainly cannot put your hand in the face of the player, which is exactly what Bjelica did. Not once, but twice. So guess what? He's gone, and he's going to be gone for a long time. I believe this is going to be multiple games for Bjelica, and rightfully so. The standards, again, for managers are different than players. And to be honest, if a player gets suspended for 3 games, if indeed that's considered to be violent conduct, it's going to be more for Bjelica, and it should be.
And now it's 4 points difference. Bayer Leverkusen on top of the table, Bayern Munich behind them. Bayer Leverkusen are making sure they're covering all angles, though. They're obviously missing players on international duty, but one of the big misses is Victor Boniface, who got injured on international duty. And so what have they done? They brought Borja Iglesias in.
And Borja Iglesias, let's not get crazy, because he hasn't been great for Real Betis. Only 1 goal and no assists. He hasn't had the season that a lot of people were expecting, but Borja Iglesias at one point was a borderline national team player for Spain, and some argue that he should have been at the World Cup. So when he is at his best, he is a piece that I think Xabi Alonso can utilize. What's important for Borja Iglesias is a change of scenery and looking for confidence, and perhaps Xabi Alonso is the one that can provide that. However, again, let's not get crazy. This is a good piece to have, but it's not going to be the reason as to why Bayer Leverkusen end up winning the title, if indeed they do so.
So both Leverkusen and Bayern will be back in action this weekend. Games that you'll be able to see on ESPN Plus. As for Leverkusen, they take on Borussia Mönchengladbach. And Bayern have a tricky test. It's always a little bit tricky to go to Augsburg and get a result, but they are going to have to if they want to arrive on February the 10th in good shape.